Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, it's the day of our big monthly meeting, so hopefully many of you are coming out to visit with us and hang out. It's going to be a really good one. We've got some good speakers that are lined up to talk, but really, I'm telling you, the big showcase, I think, is just the fact that you can come together for a few hours once a month, eat some food, and fellowship with other like-minded individuals. Every month, pretty much, I get stories of, someone came to the meeting and they're working on, I don't know, some type of, system, some type of off-grid, self-sufficient, whatever, and they needed some advice. And guess what? They found someone at the meeting that has some good knowledge on it, or whatever it is, or they've just met people that live close to them. That's the real big draw, but some good speakers, good fellowship, good food. Looking forward to big day. This weekend, my goodness, what a crazy weekend when it comes to stuff going on in the news. And I don't plan on probably covering everything, but mostly just in general talking about it. Obviously, I think most of you know what happened at the Olympics. An absolute satanic, godless debacle. It's just disgusting. I don't even know how to put it in words, but most of you know that. Paris had a big old power outage, blackout. Who knows why at this point? Some people are saying it was punishment for what they did with the Olympics. I don't know. Lebanon apparently, possibly, maybe, struck Israel and killed some civilians there. And Israel is on the verge of retaliating. They already have sent some ships, some planes in to do some strikes, but they have called the war cabinet, I guess, and there's a possibility that things could rapidly escalate between Israel and Lebanon. Obviously stuff going on with the election. There's big solar flares going on. There's all kinds of stuff, and it's almost like we're just watching the end of days happen, right? To where there's so many things happening all the time that it really desensitizes us to it. We just realize, well, this is just the times that we live in. Things are falling apart. That's just how it is, right? We have to be careful of that. That we don't become too complacent to matters that are going on, and recognizing that the times are drawing nearer. This Olympic thing that happened, the opening of the Olympics, and again, I'm not going to go into the gory, pedophilic details of it, but hey, there was one thing there. There was this white horse, shining white horse, running across a lake, and everyone is saying that this is the pale horse that's spoken of in Revelation. And it's possible it could be, but I would argue it's probably more representative of the first of the four horses, not the last, the white horse. And the white horse is what brings about the false peace, the false light, the Antichrist. And I'm not the first one to ever say this. I think even Bill Cooper, I believe it was him many years ago, touched on this. These elites, these globalist, satanic Marxists, they are using the book of Revelation as kind of a playbook. And what they don't realize that they're actually playing into the Father's plan. I think, and this is just an opinion, I'm certainly no expert, but I think that what we're probably most likely going to see is they're going to try to create this false end times, right? They're doing this to, they know that it gets people all worked up. They know that people get upset and panicked and all this kind of stuff, and so they're creating this false end times. And what there will be most likely is this bounce back, right? People will have enough of it, all of this transgender stuff, all of this pedophilic, satanic, mockery of God, everything. I mean, I've seen over the weekend people that are coming out and saying, hey, I'm not a Christian, but I think that this is wrong. This is, so they're pushing everyone as far as they can. And then there's going to be this bounce back. And the bounce back isn't going to be, Jesus. It's not going to be his second return, coming. The bounce back is going to be the real false hope, the real false light, but because of the way it will happen, that's where people will be deceived. The scriptures say that people are going to be deceived by that. Well, a lot of people aren't being deceived by what's going on. So that doesn't fit very well with end time prophecies. People aren't really being that deceived by this. A lot of people there's a huge outcry against it, and they're calling it out, even though the elites are pushing this harder and harder. So I suspect again that there'll be this bounce back, and what comes out of it is going to look good. It's going to look real peaceful. It's going to even look Christian or biblical or holy, but it's all going to be fake. It's all this false doctrine, false beliefs, false everything. And that's what people will fall for. They will believe. And when that time happens, is it months, years down the road? I don't know. Then people will believe that's the true good things. That's the true hope, the true peace. And really what they've been, what's happened is they've been duped. They've been suckered in to believing in something that's not true because it's so much better than what was. And so that's why, as much as it really, really irritates so many of you, and here lately I've gotten a much higher than normal hate mail on it, we have to be careful about who we attach ourselves to, who we hold on to, who we believe is the good guys. Because in this game, on a big stage, there's not really any good guys. And we need to be careful of that. The stuff that's going on, it's awful. And it's going to get worse. And I believe it is just showing us that even if we are not in the biblical end times, we are in the end of days of this civilization. We're at least in the end of days of this civilization. We are watching it just crumble. Civilizations, history has shown us that culture, civilization cannot sustain itself when it becomes this immoral, this wicked. And we are definitely at the pinnacle of that point. And so that on its own, not even looking at the Kamala, Trump, the Iraq or Iran, Israel, the Russia, Ukraine, all these different things. Just the fact that we are watching our civilization crumble in this way should be enough for people to wake up and start preparing. Because things are going to get rough, one way or the other. They're either going to get rough because it's going to fall apart and be some kind of, just true struggle to survive, or it's going to fall apart to the point that some ridiculous technology and overpowering, overreaching government will just scoop up the remains and take over our lives. Either way, it's going to be pretty bad, and we have to be ready for that. So when you see things in the news that are constantly bombarding us over and over again, and like it's picking up. It's picking up speed. When you see that, recognize the fact that this is the signs that our civilization is falling apart. It's getting closer, and at any point in time, there could be an event that just pushes us over the edge. And so we have to be ready for that, continually becoming as self-sufficient as possible, building relationships with neighbors, community around you, finding the right place. As talking with some folks in the last couple of days about, and I'm not bragging about our area that we live in, because there are many areas like this. I get feedback from many of you that live in little small community, rural community areas. There are still good places out there. Are they perfect? Not by any stretch of the means, but there's still pretty good places out there where the small rural communities and people, for the most part, have not bought into all of this worldly wickedness. There's still that small community feel where people kind of pull together. They know each other. They help each other. And maybe that's where you need to be. I know that some of you are real sticklers to staying where you're at. And for whatever reason, you've convinced yourself that's all you can do. But with all this that's fallen apart, probably one of the better things you can do to be prepared for it is to live in the right place to survive. And you guys know that a lot of this country is not going to be survivable. It's going to just be a madhouse. So work on your self-sufficiency, work on your preps, work on your mind, work on your soul, and work on where you live and the people around you. When you put effort into all of those things, as this world, as this culture falls apart more and more, you will be more and more prepared. So these should be very top priorities for you. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.